The phone vibrated while I was sleeping upright in my car, spine folded like a bad decision. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. People don't call men who live between a steering wheel and a blanket. They assume we've already disappeared. I answered anyway. Silence. Then breathing. Controlled. Professional. "Mr. Hale," the voice said, "I believe you're living in your vehicle." I didn't ask how he knew. Wind pressed against the windows. The smell of old coffee and failure sat heavy in my lungs. Yes. A pause. Measured. "I'm Adrian Keller, CEO of Keller & Weiss. I'd like to meet you. Today." I laughed. It came out dry, broken. "I think you have the wrong man." "No," he said calmly. "I don't." The call ended. I stared at my reflection in the rearview mirror, unshaven, older than I remembered, eyes hollowed by something worse than poverty. 2 hours later, my daughter-in-law's voice cut through the silence of my phone. "If you want to join Thanksgiving," she snapped, "come wash the dishes. You're not family anymore. You're help." I didn't argue. I just said one word, "Enjoy," and hung up. It hadn't started with cruelty. It started with concern. "You're forgetting things, Dad. You're slowing us down. You need help, but not from us." Soft words, polite knives. When I lost my job, my son didn't look surprised. He looked relieved. When my savings vanished, medical bills, bad timing, he nodded like it confirmed something he'd already decided. "You can't stay here," he said one evening, standing in the doorway of the house I helped him buy. "You're a burden." Burden. Not father, not mentor, not the man who worked 30 years without a vacation so his son could wear clean ambition. Just weight. They packed my things in silence. My daughter-in-law avoided my eyes like guilt might be contagious. I slept in my car that night believing the story they sold me, that I was finished. What I didn't know, what I couldn't yet see, was how carefully my fall had been engineered. Accounts I didn't authorize, documents I didn't sign, a company collapse that wasn't an accident. Someone had been draining me slowly and smiling while doing it. Living in a car gives you time to remember details you were too busy to question before. The power of attorney my son insisted on, just in case. The financial advisor my daughter-in-law recommended. The sudden distance, the rehearsed sympathy. I started watching instead of reacting. Public records, corporate filings, bank trails. I wasn't broke. I had been bled. Quietly. Intelligently. I requested statements sent to a P.O. box, cross-checked signatures, matched dates. Every line told the same story. They hadn't pushed me out because I was weak. They pushed me out because I was in the way. That's when Adrian Keller showed up. Black car, quiet presence, eyes that measured without judging. "You built a logistics algorithm in 2003, he said, sitting across from me in a cafe I couldn't afford. "It saved my father's company. You never took credit." I said nothing. "You transferred its rights last year." Under duress. I looked up. For $1. He slid a folder across the table. Inside was my past and my theft. "I don't like predators who mistake age for irrelevance," he said. "I'd like to correct the market." I accepted his offer without shaking his hand. Emotion is noise. The confirmation arrived 3 weeks later. My son's name on shell accounts. My daughter-in-law's emails coordinating withdrawals. Legal proof. Clean. Undeniable. I invited them to lunch. Neutral ground. They smiled like winners. I handed my son the folder. "Read," I said. His face drained slowly, like color leaving a dying screen. She grabbed it from him, scanned faster. Too fast. "This is fake," she whispered. I leaned back. "No," I said softly. "It's complete." My son's hands trembled. "You said he wouldn't notice," he said to her. She stared at me then, not with shame, with calculation. "You were supposed to disappear," she said. I nodded. That was the plan. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't threaten. I slid my phone across the table. A photo loaded on the screen. A white villa, Swiss mountains, glass walls, quiet wealth. Another photo. Me, standing beside Adrian Keller. Another. A signed document restoring every asset, with interest. Her phone buzzed, once, then again, and again. 71 missed calls by the time she noticed. My son was crying, silent, small. "You took everything from me," he said. I corrected him. "You took from me," I said. I reclaimed. I stood. "Legal action is already filed," I added. "I won't attend the hearings. You'll lose anyway." She reached for my sleeve. I stepped back. "I don't forgive betrayal," I said. "I outlive it," and walked away. I wake up now to quiet. No alarms, no pleading, no noise. The villa overlooks a lake that doesn't care who I used to be. Sometimes my phone rings. I don't answer. Not because it hurts, because it doesn't. They wanted me erased. Instead, I became unreachable. The last thing my son ever said to me was that I was a burden. He was right. I just wasn't his to carry anymore.